Hello, it's Icy. I am back with more of Torment, the Tides of Numenera. Let's go talk to Kung Fu Man! Hi. Aiden Sitabo. The large muscled man is practicing some form of martial arts as you look on. He's wearing an old white rough woven coat with the sleeves torn off, a red bandana wrapped tightly around his head. He seems to be moving much faster than his size suggests as possible. He glides between stances as swiftly as water. His fists are blurring hammers striking at invisible enemies. His bare, callous feet snap and slash the air like knives. When did you learn to fight like that? Who is the curly-haired girl that I'm looking for? I don't remember. By challenging the deadliest creatures and studying their killing blows, he says. I lack claws or teeth, but I do the best I can. You're very fast. Yes, Aiden says. The Debrilla's Grift! His hand slips around an invisible assailant's arm. He snaps it with a stab of his elbow and then crushes his enemy's throat and flips him over the shoulder to the ground. Jesathanum Array! He shouts, spinning over an invisible adversary's corpse to deliver a triangle of jabs to the chest of his next attacker. The entire set of moves took no longer than 4 seconds. He catches you staring and smiled. You must be wondering why I'm shouting. Yes. I'm not surprised. I must look like a lunatic, he says, before spearing his opponent's jugular with 3 fingers. Gun-third thrust! It helps me focus on my breathing, my strength, and my will. It reminds me of how weak I once was, how strong I've become. Years ago, I was a starving beggar. I managed to steal a wedge of pie crust and was terrified that someone else would take it from me, so I hid inside the metal structure over there to enjoy my feast. Bite of the hidden web, he says, clawing his enemy's eyes. Stale crust crumbled between my eager fingers, and something strange happened. They drifted towards the ground like the softest snowflakes. I was able to pluck each one of them from the air before they fell. At first I was delighted, then wept. How far had I fallen? That clean food was a miracle. He sighs, then delivers 4 more blows to the air's belly. But the miracle never ended. The longer I lived in that shelter, the more I could slow the world by concentrating. I swore never to waste this gift. I would honor it, and becoming stronger, faster. I would challenge the predators of the world and take their killing blows from them. I would never be prey again. Grush, stop. Where did you learn to fight like that? I know we did that. Oh. Have you seen the 10-year-old girl? Yes. He says, bowing his head. I've seen her. Oh, right, the slave girl. Crawling out of a fissure in one of the collapsed houses in this district. She's likely hiding, but I did not pry into her affairs. I bet I'm faster than you. Really? You're not the first to think so, he says casually, snapping an assailant's neck. I should warn you that the others are dead. It's not a threat. I only fight to the death. He flings an invisible corpse aside. Before I accept your challenge, I need to see if you're good enough to face me. Drilliscus! Silvertide rings. Ooh, initiative, quick fingers, block the punch, strike back. Ooh, sure. Sure, why not? Let's succeed this. You bat his fist aside and aim yours at his nose. He lowers his head, dashing the knuckles off his forehead. I underestimated you, he says, an odd light in his eyes. That won't happen again. Tell me when you're ready for the next round. Okay. Prepare yourself. Uh-oh. The only problem is... Am I... Oh, okay, fine. I guess we're going to keep using my speed. Success. You lunge into the attack, driving your arms up between his fists and pushing them apart. One hand whips around the back of his neck and pulls him into the range of your forehead. Crack. He stumbles back, blinking, smiling. You're ready. Have I passed your tests? You have, he says, but I will remind you one more time. This will be a fight to the death. Haha, he draws 1 foot back, settling his weight on it. His hands come up, draw apart, tightening into fists. Are you sure you want to do this? Maybe later. Good, he says, nodding. Think it over. You would have to commit to the fight with your whole heart. Why do you insist on fighting to the death? I fight to learn my opponent's most powerful techniques, he says calmly. How can I be certain they'll use them unless death is on the line? I mean, farewell. I might come back, but not until I've had a sleep. These 3 triangles float serenely above a scuffed stone basin. Can't help but notice the citizens of Sages are giving the monument a wide berth. The largest triangle shines brightly, radiating a soothing warmth. The middle, darker one hovers above it, turns slightly away from the first with what strikes you as disdain. The third, small, dryly amused, and so deeply indigo to be nearly black. It's removed from the first 2 triangles. You hesitate. You are sensing emotions from these objects. Intent. Something strange here. Can't look at the basin. The stone is cracked in places, but far newer than the ancient shapes float above. You suspect the citizens of Sagas added the basin to make the triangles look less out of place. Examine the smallest. The tiny object spins faster than the others. The more you stare at it, the more you sense a growing presence in the air. The icy regard of distant eyes. You blink, swaying. In the half second before you open your eyes, you hear the thunderous crack of wood on wood, and the rumble of distant voices. You snatch your hand from the triangle. I was not touching the triangle. I was observing the triangle. Study the medium one. Staring at this triangle is disorientating. The longer you stare at it, the more you feel a tight, coiling sensation in your own head. Standing on your toes and stretching, you manage to brush the triangle's icy face with your finger. It says study, not touch. The air thickens like a weight over you, and you struggle to keep your eyes open. Between the thumping of your heartbeat, you hear thousands of purposeful, rhythmic footsteps treading an endless stair towards the peak of a vast, echoing room. Okay. Do the large one. You reach out and time slows. Your hand drifts past individual motes of light dappled dust, moving into the warm glow of the large triangle. Calm warmth bleeds up your arm when you grasp the edge of this triangle. It's somehow rigid and flexible at the same time. You blink and a strip of light unwinds ahead of you, like the path through the infinite murmuring dark. Behind you is the ever-shifting zoetrope of linked motionless hues. It is your past you realize, every second of it, every choice pouring out of you and trailing away into the black. You open your eyes. You're back at the stone ring, still touching the triangle. All 3 of them are watching you. Think again. A strip of light, surrounding darkness, and the valley between slow the pulse of your heart. You hear the murmurs of countless witnesses, the raised voices of your past and future companions, the heated condemnations of enemies you haven't met, and above it all, a trio of voices. One warm, one cold, one dryly practical. They are speaking a verdict, but you can't hear it over the dim. Oh, ignore the voices and keep walking? Shout for silence. Oh, red tiling. You bellow into the dark, clenching your fists, and the crowd instantly falls silent. So the judges. In their echoing silence that follows, you realize you're alone. You always were. You stride on. Oh, the path unravels before you every step. Your path unspools behind you. See where it leads. You follow the road casually. You look to the right, and the path your feet flickers as if anticipating the new direction. Clearly your choice is to find this road's course, not the other way around. You open your eyes, and the 3 triangles hang in the air exactly as they did before, unmoving and silent. The vision is gone, and yet you can still feel the choices you've made, curving away behind you like a string of jewels. You straightened, moving into the future by a tiny breath. You suddenly notice a message carved into the stone ring beneath the triangles. Judge yourself. As you watch, it slowly fades away. Let's just examine all of them again. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Find who to talk to. We come up here and have a look what we've got. Let's. Jernig and Nano. Let's talk to Jernig. Jernor, sorry. Jernor. The old man's skin is covered in makeup, painstakingly drawn to resemble dark stone. Is it makeup? His eyes widen briefly as he notices you, and his face and neck hardens into actual obsidian for a moment. He smiles and nods at you, his features mobile once more. Welcome, welcome, he says. Sorry about the stone. Polymorphic flesh modification, you see. I didn't see you walked up and assumed you were going to cut my throat and take my chirurgical parlor for yourself. Why would you think such a thing? I do good business here, the old man shrugs. If I was a younger man looking to make a name for myself in the city, I'd kill me too. My chirurgical parlor is a marvel of the prior world, you see. Just pick an item or a service, pay my outrageous fees, and after only a short to long period of fairly safe but indescribable agony, you walk away with some horrible Numenera bits swirling away inside of you. He pokes a few buttons on a device strapped to his wrist, and lights twinkle across its length. A dark, glassy lens focuses on you. Well, interested? Can't help but notice you're a very honest man. Well spotted, he says, nodded. Clear streaks of quartz run up his prominent cheekbones, revealing the muscle beneath. It's a side effect of my modifications. Couldn't lie to you if you begged me to, he shrugs. Honesty is usually a hindrance to a businessman, but people seem to like it. How'd you come to own the parlor? It was originally a partnership, he says. My colleagues and I spent 2 years digging it out and getting the whole mess working. Of course, we had to test the drones before we tried them on anyone else. Customers getting skinned alive on opening day is bad for business. Turns out, that was a wise move. Gorner chose an intelligence modification, and the drones cut off his head to work it more directly. We all picked strength, and the drones sliced off her arms. They defaulted to Sever in those days. He smiled fondly. Anyway, 6 partners later, and I was the sole proprietor. Worked out all the kinks, and here we are with no fatalities in months. No fatalities in months. Show me your list of services. Oh, of course, he says, tapping a few buttons on the broad device encircling his waist. The lens beams a cone of light directly into your eye, which immediately begins watering. Blinking, you see a list of menus. A menu of items seemingly hanging in the air. Clawed gauntlets, jagged memory, encroaching darkness, blood knights, the Numenera. Analyzer sounds safest. An artificial eyeball. Really? How painful are these procedures? I knew that would catch your eye. The clawed gauntlets, he says, digging in the ribs. We plant long, hollow rods in your forearms with steel blades shoots inside. Just flick your wrist, and out they pop, surprising anyone who mistook you for an armed. He demonstrates with an unoccupied wrist, making little shuk-shuk sounds. 125 shins for the weapon, and the work both. Oh, really? Tell me about the jagged memory. This, he says with a raised finger, is a tricky one. It's a mesh that fuses through your skin, leaving jagged marks like tattoos. When you attack, you'll always hit your enemy's old wounds, even if they weren't there before. Told you it was a tricky one. 70 shin. 110 shin. Encroaching darkness. Beguiling name, isn't it? He says, laugh lines twinkling. I'm glad you like it, because I'm not quite sure what it does. It's a living creature, you see. The creature crawls around inside your body while you sleep. Eventually it takes root in your nervous system and, does something. Could be good, could be bad, could be both. Certainly won't be boring. 100 shins. Your loss. Anything else? What are the blood nanites? It's quite simple, he says. The drone fills your blood with millions of tiny machines that promptly begin devouring you alive until they learn to differentiate between your body and anything that's not supposed to be there. After that, they'll do their level best to purge toxins and illnesses from your body with every pump of your heart. In case I wasn't clear, this one's really going to hurt. 95 shin. Paid in advance, please. No, thank you. The Numenera analyzer sounds safest? It's quite safe, he nods. Most of the time. In almost 3 out of 5 cases. And the procedure couldn't be simpler. The drone simply saw your skull open and shove an implant right into the right spot and seal everything back up inside your skull again. Once they do that, the implant will help you identify the purposes of unknown Numenera. It costs 95 shins, but it pays for itself. Okay. An artificial eyeball? Really? A very popular item, he says, nodding. The meat ones wear out so easily. This one never does, and will help you spot things normal eyes miss. All it takes is a one-time cost of 110 shins, and it is a tremendously unpleasant operation. No, thank you. How painful are these procedures? That's a popular question, he says, and it does vary from procedure to procedure. But if you're thinking a general area, most customers usually range between shrieking for a merciful death and groaning while swelling themselves, if that helps. But they're almost always happy with the results when they survive. Now, are you ready to buy something? Let me ask you some other questions. Alright, he says, shutting off the beam projector. Okay. I mean, we might come back. I mean, that sounds pretty good. There were some cool things there. Look, I still don't have a weapon? I mean, I still don't have a weapon. But I did take ranged weapons as a skill, so... Free, blunt, tailored advice given here. Oh, intoxicated woman? Red sheds, tendon bending. Alright, where can we go here? Underbelly. The Fifth Eye Tavern. Really? Okay. Let's go... Ooh, what have we got here? Hooded Thug! Oh. Ah. The Citrus. Oh, we're talking about the falling... Ooh. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, what's up here then? Back to Circus Minor. Crashed airship. Oh, who are you? Dendra O'Her culture. They're the ones who eat the dead, isn't it? The flesh creeps, if you let it. If you let it. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Lord Vungton. Declaiming to the crowd as a well-dressed but sickly-looking man, short, dumpy, and an unhealthy shade of yellow. Despite this, he has a proud demeanour and the stentorian voice of a much larger man. He booms at you at his approach. Ah, another likely lady. Excellent. These people have called for deliverance from this ravaging Stitchus, and a hero has answered. Most courageous of you. He smiles. All you have to do is be the first to find the rogue Stitchus that's been terrorizing Cliff's Edge. Return here and tell me precisely where it is, and I'll take it from there. And you'll be rewarded, I promise you, as head of the slave family. I'll owe you a favour, and my favour carries a good deal of weight. Tell me more about the Citrus. Of course, knowing the enemy is the first step to defeating it. What is one? They are horrible, undermining vermin from another world. They tunnel beneath the streets of our city, undermining our homes and causing them to collapse. Our deaths are nothing to them. They don't even believe humans are sentient creatures. Tell me, what else can you tell me? The vile thing appeared in Cliff's Edge a few days ago, and it's been skulking around ever since. The whole neighbourhood lives in fear of it. Why? Some will tell you because this district has suffered from the Stitch's digging. Houses collapsing on people, others falling into sea. There's some truth to that, but the real reason is that people have become weak and afraid, and they aren't prepared to face adversity. Indeed, if the Stitcher didn't exist, I would be tempted to invent them. Really. They are just what this city needs to stiffen its spine. Sage's Cliffs, our once proud empire, has abandoned its holding and ceded its territories to autochthonous tribes and wild beasts. It's time to take them back, but how can we do that when our citizens become lazy and timid children? Sage's Cliffs had an empire? Indeed, we had the lands from here to Ornu Ugnaran. That was before the slave uprising that brought the slave families to power. Some of us seek to reclaim what was lost. But empires only serve the interests of a lucky few. Many people suffer. And few gain in return. And how much more would they suffer without the empire? The empire serves all. Even the least strong in a civilization is better off than the best in a weak one. Is it? Maybe? How did a Sitcher come to Sager's Cliffs? Several members of the council believe that it's the work of our enemies, that their eggs were brought here from another world, an act of vengeance or sabotage perhaps. Others think that the eggs were always here and that it took them centuries to hatch. But how doesn't matter to me. They're here, they're dangerous, and it's up to every true citizen of Sages to resist them. Okay. What can you, tell me about yourself first. I am Yars Vungton of the House Vungton, one of the most respected slave families. I also have the honor of serving on the council. I don't usually descend to this neighborhood, but in such a crisis one must put one's finer feelings aside and do what one can for the city. Who are the slave families? We are the descendants of the slaves who rose up with Chiller the Great. They smashed the oligarchs who ruled this city and replaced their despotism with fair and egalitarian leadership, creating a city where anyone can achieve anything if only try. Sure. What can you tell me about Cliff's Edge? Alas, I rarely pass through these miserable streets, so I know little about them, but I go where my city needs me. I'm looking for an albino woman. Do you know her? I don't know who that is, and by the sound of it, I don't want to. She sounds like a dreadful person. As he speaks, his eye twitches. He might be lying. Are you certain you don't know Matkina? I know of her. That's not the same as knowing her, and I don't know her as what Matkina. I only know her as the White Death. The council has had dealing with her before. Farewell. Well, let us actually hang on. Come back. Back. There seemed to be some. Oh, well. Why are you glowing? Other Timmers. Ah, see the houses. The woman glares at the air above her head, her fingers fretting with a single bead, and a long, peculiar chain of them. Her low, angry muttering resolves in words as we get closer. Foolish girl, it doesn't matter what you were. The past is a land well populated by wet-eyed nitwits. Nay, what matters is what you are, what you be. Are you talking to me? She blinks at the empty air, and her hands steal to a metallic, many-faceted bead near the end of the chain. I may as well be, she says, snorting. Mother Temmers knows you, girl. Born falling you were. Born in flames, shreds of your smouldering coal streaming through the air. When you struck the ground, your bead first went cold, then hotter than a mother's hatred. She spits and shakes her head. Scarcely born you are, and already tangled in the past, seeking answers when you should be making your own. Ooh, that's very profound. You think it's foolish to want answers? Nay, but only a fool seeks them from others. People are glad to tell you who you are, girl. Doesn't mean their answers are worth a pinch of piss. You're confused, but that'll change. You'll have your feet under you soon. Not all of my children are so lucky. This one, she says, showing you the bead, was speaking to before you arrived. It's carved in the shape of two overlapping spheres. Something's eating her memories, her thoughts, even her name. She calls herself loss of self, and she's going mad. Set her back on her feet for me, girl. Do that, and I return your call to you, improved through my art, and stronger than when you lost it. Okay, I saw that person over there. How can I find loss of self? You haven't been listening, girl, she says with a sigh. Don't help her. Convince her to help herself. Where can I find her? She's in Cliff's Edge. Look around, you'll find her. I have questions about something else. Go on, then. You mentioned you had my coal. That's not what it is. A coal is the birth sac, basically, of a baby. Usually it bursts, but sometimes babies that holds the umbilical, like the fluid inside the womb. Normally it bursts and the babies come out through it, and it comes out later with the afterbirth. Sometimes babies are born with the coal around them, and it's meant to be lucky. I'm not a fool, girl, she says dryly. You were born above my city, so I know you like it or not. She reaches into her bag, strapped to her hip. Something glitters within. This is your call, torn from you at birth. Name it what you will, but I know what it be. Can I have a look at my call? When you finish the task I've asked of you, not before. Okay. Tell me about Rin. Describe the girl you're seeking. Didn't deliver her, she declares. Do not know her. She doesn't come from Stage's Cliff's Edge and may not come from Stage's either. I don't know who Rin is anymore. Much keener. You're speaking of the White Death, she growls and grips the end of the chains of the beads in her hand, pulling them taut until all of them shiver on their string. Mark the faded ones well, the ones as cold as a night's snow. More than a few are down to her in a careless knife. Lord Bunkton. He's the leader of one of the slave families, she said, studying her bees casually. He has a number of opinions, that boy. Some he shares and some he doesn't, but he's got them all the same. You don't seem to like Lord Bunkton much. Can he be trusted or not? Sure. She presses her lips together, eyes flickering between the distant Lord New. You're of Kai blood. You're Wookiee blood on his mother's side, she says at last, so low you can barely hear her. I'd not turn my back on a girl in trouble, but I've no time for disgusting humans either. Oh! She shoots a poisonous look in the Lord's direction. I'm not alone in that. If people knew what he was, it would be the end of his politicking for sure. Okay. Okay, farewell. Okay, actually, rather than talk to that guy... Oh, who's that? Ooh. Actually, we're gonna go over and talk to Loss of Self, who I did see over here. And then we will come back. Hi. This young woman clutches herself and growls low and continuously under her breath. Pearly white light shimmers from a vial on her wrist, and her eyes are red-rimmed as if she's been crying. You've never seen her before, and yet your hands are sweating and your breath catches in your inherited chest. Shame burns your throat hot and sour. Your body recognizes her, even if you do not. Leave me alone, she mutters, and it's a moment before you realize she's not talking to you. Took my face, stole my family, whispered me in my own voice. Isn't that enough? Isn't that? She breaks off when she sees you. She's in my head and she won't shut up. Talk loud. Talk over here so I can hear you. Mother Tammers sent me. I want to help. That grim old sack of bones, she says, trying to smile. I've never been able to fool her. No one can. She grips her head, staring at you from between the bars of her forearms. I've been hearing a woman's voice for a long time. She tells me everything I know about who I am is wrong, and her words are persuasive. With a sound that's half chuckle, half sob, she continues. I can't remember my childhood or my family. Last year, I forgot my name, but that's not all. I see people who look like me around the city. They have my face, they speak in my voice, and once I saw a ghost of her in the fifth eye. It was the woman in my head. She had a kind face, but it was sad, like she knew she was going to win to take over my body, but didn't want to. She won't win. I'll kill myself first. I've been hearing the voice since I was 7 years. At first it was just a whisper behind my thoughts. Then I started forgetting simple things like where my scarf was. Then one day I woke up and I couldn't remember my mother's face. I wish I wasn't scared, but I am terrified. I'll help you. Whatever it takes. Thank you. Her smile is a fragile, beautiful thing. Tell me about the ghost you saw in the fifth eye. She looked like... No, she was me, but I could see through her to the pipes in the wall. At first she wouldn't look over, and then she did, and the voice in my head, I couldn't hear the words, but it felt like glass breaking, ripping my mind to slivers and shreds. She was crying. She knew she was hurting me and couldn't stop. She's kind, do you understand? I hate her for that. She's still there, in the fifth eye. She's always there. Have you ever tried talking to her, reasoning with her? Why? She exclaims, tears of pain glittering at the corners of her eyes. Why should I talk to her when I can hear her right now? Oh, what? What the what? Trust your instincts, throw yourself off the cliff and find peace. What? I want to talk about your family. I told you, I can't even bring their faces to mind, just shapes, shapes, sea of that damned woman's words. I know you're trying to help, but you don't understand. Her whispers eat at me. They peel me away. How am I supposed to stop her when I don't even know who I am? Has anyone tried to help you remember your past? I don't know, she says. Maybe everything keeps fading. Eventually I'll forget you too. There's nothing you can say that I haven't already tried, she adds. Her mouth trembles. She won't stop talking. She'll never leave. Someone must know who you are. Yes, but they either haven't come looking or they haven't found me. She mashes her forehead with the heel of her hand. I'm not an idiot. I've thought about asking Government Square. The council is supposed to have information on everyone. But I've never made it there. Every time I try I get lost, or I forget where I'm going. It's hopeless. Okay, I'll be back when I figure out how to help you. Right, well... oh, what's this? Okay, it's just a room. Oh, what's that? Interact. The house was reduced to rubble and part of the cliff face collapsed. There's evidence that squatters have slept here recently. Oh, whoops! A ragged something of food. I bash my keyboard. Something scratches deep within the rubble. It sounds like someone or something is in there. Hello? Rubble makes no response. Dig deeper. Crawl partway inside, pushing aside boards and a thin slab of slate. A small girl gasps, throwing up a hand to block the sudden light. She's young, no more than 10 or 11 years old. She's made herself as small as possible to fit inside the tiny gap in the rubble. Her hair is dark and curly. She pulls herself deeper into the rubble. Who are away from you? Who are you? She puts her fingers to the lips and tries to shoot you away. Oh no! You hear a voice behind you. I told you patience would pay off, lads. Oh shit. Some thugs stroll over. They all carry weapons at their sides, though they walk with the cocky assurance of those who don't expect to need them. I swear I checked this hovel, one of them said. She wasn't here, no one was. How did this draft find her so easily? Don't fret it, beggar. The thug looks you up and down, then calls out in the direction of the rubble. Come on, little bird. Doesn't matter how good you are at hiding, you had to come out sometime. That's Rin. The little girl huddles behind you, keeping you between her and the thugs. Even so, it's obvious she's not sure about you either. Don't let them take me, please. Why don't you want to go with them? One of the men interrupts. She's lost, he says. The little urchin ran away from her home. Her mother asked us to find her and bring her back safely. No. Is that true? No. She grabbed your wrist. They're bad men. They want to steal me. Kidnappers. Now that's just crude. We're delivery men, that's all. The means and motivation of our employees ain't none of our business. He sighs, dropping his facade. Yet he turns to you with a look that pleads for understanding. But alright, yeah, there is a slaver who put up a fine bounty if we bring her back. It's all legal and none of your business. Best you stay out of it. He says the words kindly enough. But his colleagues' hands are on their weapons. Can't take me. She found me. She has the discoverer's right. He raises an eyebrow, a bemused smirk playing on his face. Is that so? Well, Spider-Jack, what do you say? Is she coming with us, or are we taking her from you? Was your bounty... Ooh. Oh gosh, am I intimidating? Persuading? Somehow I don't think persuading is going to work for them. Deception? Master's grown tired of waiting. Tell you the bounty. Oh. Let's try that. Sure. What? That double-crossing, backstabbing Locknibber. She promised. Fine, see if we work for her ever again. Oh God, thank you. They were going to take me back to that woman. I've never met anyone so cruel. When she found me the first time, she even... My apologies, I'm still out of sorts. You have my thanks and grace, my lady. For a moment it looks like she might hug you. At the last moment she seems to think better of it and pulls up a short half-dozen steps away. She collects herself, standing with her shoulders back, then she nods, the gesture so polite, almost formal. My name is Rin. My home and hearth and bread are yours to use, except I don't have any of those things. She blushes, then looks around. How long were you hiding in the building? She blinks, as if confused or surprised at your question. And then she looks around, shifting nervously from foot to foot. This is my place. This is where I sleep. Is this your home? No, this is just where I was staying. I ran away. My home is a long way from here. Where are you from? Really far away, but I'm not sure exactly what direction. She looks around. It has to be a long way from here. My home isn't anything like this. There were trees beyond trees. The trees here aren't trees like... She squints up into the distance, and her eyes go distant, and she realizes she isn't probably going to finish her sentence. You were saying something about trees? She looks at you oddly. What? No, I wasn't. Without seeming to realize what she's doing, the girl brushes her hand through her hair, and you see the side of her head has been shaved. Large stitches run along her scalp, holding together an ugly cut that's longer than her hand. The woman is purple and angry looking, and only just beginning to heal. It can't be more than a week old. What happened to your head? Her body grows tense for a moment, her eyes darting around as if deciding whether or not to run away. She glances at the rubble where she had been hidden from thugs. She relaxes, though her eyes are still wary. I was running away. There were some people. Bad people. I ran away and I got hurt. The scar looks pretty bad. Are you okay? It's fine. It looks worse than it is, and a lot better than yours anyway. She smirks, touching the side of her head. The haircut is pretty awful though, isn't it? I don't think they really needed to shave quite as much, do you? I don't know. I think it looks dashing. Fashionable even. Might start a trend. She gives a wide grin. That was a bit old. Like the voice changed. I'll be the envy of every homeless waif in this entire barrow. Her grin fades as the word comes out of her mouth. Sorry, I meant barrow. I know that's not the right word. I mean barrow. Her grins entirely go now, and her hands make fists as she looks at the ground, concentrating. Her lips move, and at first you can't hear anything except the hint of a whisper. Finally, her body relaxes. Neighborhood. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Neighborhood. I offer apologies. It's been a long day. What people were you running away from? She opens her mouth and closes it again. She nods and puts her hand back into her pocket absent-mindedly. I don't really remember. I think they were stealers? No, what's the word? Robbers. They wanted to rob me. Stitch your head back. For just a moment her eyes flash in panic and they dart around like she's getting ready to run. And she touches the side of her head gingerly. I don't remember what happened, but I got away and I ran and I ended up here. The story doesn't fit. Who fixed your wound and shaved your head? If you could hardly sit up, how did you keep running? She scowls at you fiercely. I didn't know I was talking to a judge, she says angrily. I told you I can't remember. Not for days and either side of what happens. Oh, I'm sorry, Rin. I was trying to help. Seems like you've had a rough couple of days. She gives a wavering smile. Oh, it's not all bad. I found some shimmery berries today. So that means I get to play I wonder if this will poison me later. That's always exciting. Is there anything I can do to help? She shrugs nonchalantly. I don't know. I'm pretty good here, unless you happen to have any spare food, or water, or a blanket, or a new bed, or a house, or you know, anything at all. Rin starts out with a playful smile on her face, but then her eyes well up. Her voice stays cheerful, even as the tears are running down her cheeks. She wipes them away, embarrassed and angry, but her hands are shaking now. There are more tears and words continue to pour out of her. I offer apologies. It's just that I've been hungry for days, and I don't know where I am, and my head hurts, and nothing makes sense. God surround me. I'm all broken in my head. The moon is wrong. I'm so tired of being scared all the time. I'll take care of you. Really? Yes. Where are you going? Maybe we can find you a new home? Frowns at that. She seems to consider. But what about those thugs? What if someone else comes after me or after you? I'm not a fighter. I can help you. It's dangerous whether you stay here alone or come with me. At least with me you can learn to take care of yourself. I guess so. Alright, I'll do it. Oh! Oh, we picked up a friend! Oh! Okay. Interesting. Rin. Hello. Lost child who shapes gods! Stones she carries with her are gods. She says they help her? That's hard to know. She has a polished rock. Rin talks to it frequently. Okay. She has a Rin's jacket. And Rin's shirt. Okay. Right. No might, 5 intellect, 5 speed. Maximum effort 2. Okay. Alright. Okay. We adopted somebody. Cool. Alright. We are going... Let's go to the council if we can. See what we can do. Alright. Where, what's the best way? Okay, no. Let's run there. Truly, though. I mean, there needs to be a better way. So this game has been out, I mean, look, it's presumably limited by the Unity engine. But this game has been out for a long time. So, surely a fast travel system could have been implemented? I don't know. Also, can we talk to Alison? Alcen? I think we do want to talk to Alcen. We need to find her though. Well, we'll find her second. Hi. General question. No, let's try paperwork. Do you have any records on a woman named Loss of Self? Loss of Self? Yeah. Eyes glance to see if you're joking. I recall no such name. He splats his fingers and a sort of living codex appears. Each of its pages covered in intricately patterned fur. Caressing its spine, he turns to a page and nods sharply, then returns the codex to its portal. As I knew, the census holds no such name, perhaps merely an alias. We will need another way to find her records. What about a missing person report for somebody who looks like Lost Self? I can describe her to you. The clerk listens to your description, then gives you a decisive nod, muttering something about checking the onomasticon. He snaps fingers and a heavy lead-bound tome appears from nowhere. He turns the page, nods, snaps again, takes hold of a vellum scroll. As he unrolls, an involuntary cry escapes from his lips. Impossible! You can see the scroll is badly damaged by patches of grey-green mold. Voice quivering with panic, he says, "These records are stored in a sealed chamber, housed in niches covered in solid salt. There's little left. If this is your woman, I can only tell you she was born in the city and that her family was searching for her. As you and your request are forgotten as he begins systematically checking every other scroll in the vault one snap at a time. None of the others appear to be damaged, though they seem to be endlessly many to examine. Okay, interesting. Elson, hi. Well, hello there, she exclaims, catching sight of Rin. She smiles at you with renewed appreciation. It's good to see you. And you! She turns to Rin, crouching down so they're on the same level. Wait, what's this? She reaches behind Rin's ear, turns to look at what she's doing. Elson taps her lightly on the nose. Rin laughs. Elson smiles. That's a gem? Yours? She glances up at you. Her expression softens at the look on your face. She stands and takes your hand in hers. You're a good person, she says simply, looking at your eyes, as if willing you to believe it. Then she lets go. Do you think you can help Rin? She gazes at the girl for a long moment, fingering her chestnut hair. The slaver, Tol Magur, is looking for a girl with dark curly hair and a head wound. Alson drops Rin's curls and shakes her head. I can't help you, I'm sorry. I can't risk angering the slavers. They could destroy the gate if they choose. Find a way to free Rin, and perhaps we can talk again. Okay, interesting. Interesting. How do I find a way to free Rin? Eileen, sorry. Do you know anything? Do I have secrets? Ah, I'm trying to help a woman named Loss of Self regain her memories. Do you know who she is? Yes, I can tell you her name. What secret do you offer me in return? Secret about my past? Go on. I'm a cast-off? Yes, you are. The tattoo's a giveaway. What else do you have? I don't know. Secrets about Sage's Cliff? Let's go that one. Couple in Circus Minor adopt an orphan boy named Gerald. Ah, from the House of Empty Time, I would imagine. Poor child. As for your question, the woman you called Loss of Self was born Alara. Her parents are still alive and they bring her food daily. Never remembers this. The nature of her curse. What is causing the problem? That's a complicated answer. What secret will you offer me? Oh, I don't know any more. Okay. They Alara and they bring her food. Okay. Can I talk to you again now? Paperwork. Did you tell me anything else about Loss of Self? Nope. Okay. Do you know what? Let's go. Actually, let's go down through here. I think we might go have a sleep. Also, I need to decide if I want to use some of my coins to buy a weapon. Also, I should check that it does in fact only cost me 40 to sleep. 'Cause that would be a problem. How much? I have 153 shins. I would like to sleep. I'll pay. Yes, okay, it's 40 total. Not 40, not 30 each. 20 each or whatever it was. Okay. Now from here I should be able to go to Cliff's Edge. Okay. Rin is very slow. I don't know if I need to take her back to the slaver and then pay the slaver off or something. I don't know. Oh, hey. The old lady's not there. Interesting. Oh, well, let's go in here and see if we can find out about the woman. But, you know what? I think we might need to leave that for the time. Because there's going to be so much talking. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the voices. I can't help myself. And then I find I speak with a fake British accent for the rest of the evening. As you do. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Please do subscribe here on YouTube, click the face, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.